Consistency over motivation, the only system that works. Most people wait for motivation. They wait to feel excited. They wait to feel ready. They wait to feel confident. And while they wait, life stays the same. Motivation feels good. It feels powerful. It feels like fire. But motivation is weak. It comes fast, and it leaves fast. Some days you feel strong. Some days you feel tired. Some days you feel inspired. Some days you feel empty. If your success depends on motivation, your success will be unstable. This is the truth most people do not want to hear. Motivation is not the solution. Consistency is. Consistency is quiet. Consistency is boring. Consistency does not feel exciting. Consistency does not give you applause in the beginning, but consistency always works. Every strong person you admire was built by consistency, not by motivation. They did not feel ready every day. They did not feel confident every day. They did not feel excited every day. They showed up anyway. This is why consistency is the only system that works. Let us begin with a simple idea. Success is not one big moment. Success is many small moments repeated every day. Imagine a drop of water falling on a stone. One drop feels weak. One drop looks useless. But that drop falls again, and again, and again. After enough time, the stone breaks. That is consistency. Motivation is like a strong wave. It looks impressive, it makes noise, but it disappears quickly. Consistency is like rain, quiet, slow, daily. Rain changes the land. Most people fail not because they are stupid, not because they are lazy, not because they lack talent. They fail because they depend on motivation. Motivation says, do it when you feel good. Consistency says, it is time, let's begin. This difference changes everything. Let us talk about why motivation fails. Motivation depends on emotions. Emotions change every day. You wake up tired. Motivation is gone. You face a problem. Motivation disappears. You do not see results fast. Motivation dies. Motivation cannot survive reality. Life is hard. Life is repetitive. Life is not always exciting. That is why motivation is unreliable. Now think about consistency. Consistency does not care about emotions. Consistency does not ask how you feel. Consistency asks only one question. Did you show up today? That's it. When you choose consistency, you remove drama from your life. You stop fighting yourself every day. You stop negotiating with your mind. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. You act because it is your system. This is the mindset shift. You do not need to feel motivated to brush your teeth. You do not need motivation to shower. You do not need motivation to eat. You do these things because they are part of your life. Success must become the same. Your habits must become automatic. This is why consistency is more powerful than motivation. Motivation is emotional. Consistency is structural. Motivation is temporary. Consistency is permanent. Let us look at a real example. Two people want to learn English. The first person feels motivated. They study 5 hours a day. They feel proud. They feel powerful. After 2 weeks, they are tired. Their brain feels heavy. They stop. The second person studies 20 minutes every day. No excitement, no drama. 1 year passes. The second person speaks better, understands more, feels confident. Why? Because consistency always beats intensity. Small actions repeated daily create massive change. This rule applies to everything: fitness, money, skills, confidence, discipline. There is no exception. Consistency is simple, but simple does not mean easy. It is hard because it is boring. It is hard because there is no instant reward. But boredom is the price of mastery. Most people quit because they want excitement. Winners continue because they want results. Now let us talk about discipline. People think discipline means forcing yourself to suffer. That is wrong. Discipline means removing choice. When something is a choice, excuses appear. I'm tired. I'm busy. I'll start tomorrow. When something is not a choice, excuses disappear. Consistency creates discipline. You do not wake up and decide. You follow the system. This is why successful people look calm. They are not fighting themselves. They are not waiting for motivation. They are following habits. Habits are the backbone of consistency. A habit is a behavior you repeat without thinking. At first, it feels hard. Later, it feels normal. That is the goal. You do not want to push yourself forever. You want to build a system that carries you. Think of a train on tracks. The train does not decide where to go. The tracks decide. Your habits are the tracks. Consistency builds the tracks. Motivation cannot do this. Motivation is too unstable.
Now, let us slow down. Look at your life. Where are you waiting for motivation? To study, to exercise, to start a project, to change your habits. Ask yourself this question. What if I stop waiting? What if I choose consistency instead? What if I commit to something small, something simple, something daily? 10 minutes a day, every day. No excuses. This is how transformation begins. Not with big promises, not with extreme effort, with small, daily action. Consistency does not require talent. Anyone can show up. Consistency does not require confidence. Confidence comes later. Consistency does not require motivation. Motivation becomes unnecessary. This is freedom. When you stop depending on motivation, you stop being a slave to your emotions. You become stable. You become reliable. You become strong. Now let us talk about identity. Consistency changes who you believe you are. Every day you show up, you send yourself a message. I am someone who keeps promises. That message is powerful. Over time, your self-image changes. You stop saying, I try. You start saying, I do. This is not positive thinking. This is earned confidence. Consistency builds self-trust. Self-trust is more valuable than motivation. When you trust yourself, you act. When you do not trust yourself, you hesitate. Most people hesitate their whole lives. Consistency ends hesitation, because action becomes automatic. Now imagine your future. Not tomorrow, not next week, 1 year from now. Imagine you stayed consistent every day. Not perfect, just consistent. Your body would be different. Your skills would be stronger. Your mind would be calmer. This future is not created by motivation. It is created by systems. Consistency is a system. It works even on bad days, especially on bad days, because bad days are the real test. Anyone can act when they feel good. Only consistent people act when they feel bad. That is the difference. This is the foundation. This is the core truth. Consistency over motivation. Always.
Part 2. How consistency is built and why most people quit.
Now you understand one thing. Motivation is not reliable. Consistency is. But here is the real question. How do you build consistency? Most people say they want to be consistent. Few people know how. Consistency is not born. It is built. It is built step by step, day by day, and it always starts small. Most people fail because they start too big. They wake up one morning and say, "From today, I will change my life." They plan to wake up early, exercise for 1 hour, study for 3 hours, work without rest. The plan looks perfect. Reality arrives fast. The body gets tired. The mind feels heavy. The excitement disappears. They miss 1 day, then 2, then they quit. This cycle repeats again and again. This is not a motivation problem. This is a design problem. Consistency needs smart design. The first rule is simple. Start small. Small enough that your brain cannot say no. 10 minutes, 5 minutes, even 1 minute. Small is powerful because it removes resistance. When something feels easy, you begin. Beginning is everything. Once you begin, momentum appears. Momentum is created by action, not by thinking. Consistency is about showing up, not about doing a lot. Most people overestimate what they can do in 1 day. They underestimate what they can do in 1 year. Consistency plays the long game. Now let us talk about non-negotiable habits. A habit becomes powerful when it is not optional. Optional habits fail. When you say, "I will do it if I feel like it," your brain hears, "I will not do it," because feelings change. Non-negotiable habits remove decision-making. You do not decide every day. You follow the rule. For example, you do not decide whether to brush your teeth. You do it. Why? Because it is part of your identity. Consistency is about identity. When you say, "I am a person who trains every day," you act differently. Not because you are motivated, because this is who you are. Identity drives behavior. Consistency changes identity. Now let us talk about routines. Feelings are unstable. Routines are stable. If you wait to feel ready, you will wait forever. A routine tells you when to act. 7 in the morning, exercise. 8 in the evening, study. No questions, no debate. The routine decides. This removes mental fatigue. Most people are tired not because they work too hard. They are tired because they decide too much. Should I work now? Should I rest? Should I start later? Every decision costs energy. Routines save energy. When you remove choice, you remove stress. Consistency becomes easier. Now let us talk about results. This is where most people quit. They do the work, but they see nothing, no progress, no reward. They say, "This is not working." They stop. This is impatience. Results are slow. Growth is invisible at first. Think of a seed. You water it every day. You see nothing, but something is happening underground. Roots are growing. If you stop watering because you see nothing, the plant dies. Consistency requires faith. Faith in the process. You must fall in love with the process. If you chase results, you will suffer. If you love the process, you will last. This is a key lesson. The process is the goal. Show up today. Do the work. That is success. Results will come later. Now let us talk about focus. Consistency dies when distractions live. Your phone is not neutral. Social media is not harmless.
They steal attention. Attention is energy. Where attention goes, life goes. If your environment is full of distractions, consistency becomes difficult. You cannot rely on willpower. Willpower is limited. Smart people design their environment. Phone in another room, notifications off, clean workspace. When distractions disappear, focus appears. Focus creates flow. Flow makes work easier. Consistency grows naturally. Remove the weeds. Your habits are a garden. Distractions are weeds. If you do not remove them, your habits cannot grow strong. Now let us talk about tracking progress. The human mind needs proof. Without proof, doubt grows. Tracking makes progress visible. A calendar, a notebook, an app. Mark every day you show up. A simple mark. Over time, a chain appears. You do not want to break the chain. This is psychological power. You protect what you build. Tracking creates accountability. You stop lying to yourself. You see the truth. I showed up or I did not. This honesty builds discipline. Now let us talk about imperfection. Perfection destroys consistency. One missed day becomes guilt. Guilt becomes shame. Shame becomes quitting. This is a trap. Consistency is not perfection. Consistency means returning. You miss a day, you return the next day. That is strength. That is discipline. Forgive yourself quickly. Do not make mistakes bigger than they are. A missed day is a scratch. Quitting is a wound. Keep going. Now let us talk about pain. Pain is part of growth. Discomfort means change. Most people run from pain. Consistent people use pain. Pain becomes fuel. When it feels hard, you are on the right path. Comfort does not create growth. Growth lives in discomfort. When you feel like quitting, remember why you started. Remember the pain of staying the same. Regret hurts more than effort. Always. Now let us talk about people. Your environment shapes you. If you are around lazy people, laziness feels normal. If you are around disciplined people, discipline feels normal. Consistency is contagious. Choose your influences carefully. If you cannot change people, change what you consume. Books, videos, voices. Feed your mind with consistency. Finally, let us talk about time. Consistency needs patience. Most people think in days. Successful people think in years. 1 year of consistency changes everything. 5 years creates mastery. 10 years creates a new life. Small actions compound. This is the power of time. You do not need speed, you need direction. Move forward every day. Even slowly. Slow and consistent always wins. This is the truth. Consistency is not exciting, but it is unstoppable. Part 3. The system that changes everything, and the life you build with it. Now, everything comes together. You know the truth. Motivation starts, consistency continues. Talent helps, systems win. Your life today is not an accident. It is the result of what you do every day. Small choices, repeated actions. This is how lives are built, not in one moment, but in many quiet moments. Consistency is quiet. No applause, no attention, but it is powerful. Now, let us build the system. A system is simple. It tells you what to do, when to do it, and how to return when you fail. A system removes confusion. First, one goal. Not 10, not 5, 1. Your mind needs clarity.
When you chase many goals, you catch none. Choose one area: health, skills, money, mindset. One focus. This is where consistency begins. Second, one small daily action. Not big, not impressive, small. Something you can do even on bad days. This is critical. Bad days will come. The system must survive bad days. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, small actions keep the chain alive. Consistency is about continuity. Never break the chain. Third, one fixed time. Same time, every day. The brain loves patterns. Patterns create habits. Habits remove effort. Over time, the action feels automatic.
This is freedom. You are no longer fighting yourself. Fourth, one simple rule for bad days. Bad days are dangerous. They kill streaks. So, create a rule. On bad days, do the minimum. Very minimum, but do something. This rule saves consistency. Now let us talk about failure. Failure is not the enemy. Quitting is. Failure is feedback. It shows you what to adjust. Consistent people do not avoid failure. They learn fast. They adapt. They continue. This is resilience. Resilience is built through repetition. Now let us talk about patience again. Consistency rewards the patient. The impatient quit early. They leave just before results appear. This is the tragedy. Most people are close. They just do not know it. If they stayed a little longer, everything would change. Consistency requires trust. Trust the process, even when you see nothing, especially then. Now let us talk about identity again. At the start, you act to become. Later, you act because you are. I am a reader. I am a learner. I am a disciplined person. This shift is powerful. When identity changes, behavior follows naturally. You no longer force yourself. You become yourself. This is the ultimate goal. Now let us talk about fear. Fear stops many people. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of wasting time. Consistency faces fear daily. Fear loses power through repetition. The more you act, the weaker fear becomes. Action dissolves fear. Thinking makes fear grow. Move first. Clarity comes later. Now let us talk about comparison. Comparison kills joy. It also kills consistency. Someone else is faster. Someone else is better. This is irrelevant. Your only competition is yesterday. Did you show up today? That is the only question. Consistency is personal. It respects your pace. Now let us talk about boredom. Boredom is normal. Every long journey includes boredom. People quit when it feels boring, but boredom is a sign of stability. Stability is good. Consistency is not entertainment. It is construction. You are building a life. Buildings are not built with excitement. They are built with patience, brick by brick, day by day. Now, let us talk about momentum. Momentum changes everything. At first, progress is slow. Then one day, it feels easier. You have energy. You have rhythm. This is momentum. Momentum is earned. It comes after consistency, not before. Never wait for momentum. Create it. Now, let us talk about the future. Imagine yourself 1 year from now. Same habits, same excuses. Or stronger habits, stronger mindset. The difference is consistency. Nothing else. No secret, no shortcut. Just showing up. Every day.
This is hopeful because consistency is available to everyone. You do not need talent, you do not need luck. You need commitment. Commitment to the system, commitment to the process, commitment to yourself. Now let us end with truth. Motivation is emotional. Consistency is rational. Motivation asks, how do I feel? Consistency asks, what do I do? Feelings change. Systems remain. Build the system. Follow it daily. And one day, you will look back. You will not recognize your old self. Not because of one big moment, but because of thousands of small ones. This is the power of consistency. This is the only system that works.
If this message hit you, then don't just watch and leave. Like this video, share it to someone who needs this wake-up, and subscribe to this channel. Study yourself 1 hour a day. We are building a different breed here, a new generation of doers, people who don't wait for permission, people who build themselves daily, people who compound quietly and become untouchable over time. Hit subscribe, join the movement. 1 hour a day, every day. And in 1 year, your future self will not recognize you anymore. Let's grow. Let's execute. Let's dominate our own potential. Subscribe now and start becoming the person nobody can compete with.